Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host, Jennifer. Happy Monday morning! Now I'm not recording this on a Monday and I think today's Thursday when I'm recording this. The reason being is because I'm not going to be able to record a video to get it up on Monday at all this weekend. It is a very, very busy weekend. For those of you that know, Friday was Juju's 17th birthday. So we're going to be celebrating that, and I have some other big things that I need to go and do this weekend, so I'm going to just be so busy. I have a whole bunch of yarn that I need to cake up. Yeah, I have a really busy weekend ahead of me. I need a little bit of water. I'm drinking just water. In my Buc-ee's cup. Now, if you have a Buc-ee's anywhere near you, these insulated cups are like top notch. They're made by Yukon Outfitters. They will keep ice in this cup for over 20 hours. It's insane. So, keeps your beverages nice and ice cold, even in the heat. I left this in the car overnight in Florida and had ice the next day. So, those cups are amazing. I also have another brand of this that is Polar something or another, and it also works really well to keep ice for long term. I am not affiliated at all with either of those companies, but you know, in case you guys like your cold beverages cold. I got a little bit of dry mouth. I had a little bit too much rhubarb for lunch. I had a big giant bowl of rhubarb, and it tends to take the saliva right out of your mouth because I eat it raw. So, with that, you guys see what I finished? I finished it! I'm so excited! I finished my shawl. This shawl has taken me probably the longest of any shawl I have ever created in the 5 years that I've been crocheting. I think it's been about 5 years that I've been crocheting. Took forever, and I've had so many people ask me to please let them know how to make this. So get a notebook and write it down because I'm going to tell you really quick, okay? I chained, this is going to be your tutorial. I chained, I don't know how many I chained, but it was a multiple of 6. So could be 60, could have been 120, I don't know. I chained long enough that it would fit around my neck like a collar. Okay, so it touches loosely in the front. And then I did 3 rows of double crochet, and at, like, if you do 60, every 10th stitch you do an increase. So you put 2 double crochet in that so that it curves. So that's just what I did, is every 6 not every 6 stitches, but like when I make a half circle or a shawl that's going to curve outward, I divide it by 6 and I put increases at the 6 points. So I increased at the front and then like went in 10 and put 2 double crochet, did 10, 2 double crochet, etc. So that's if I did 60 stitches. If you do 120, obviously you have to go a different number. So just at 6 points somewhere you need to increase. It's very simple. I did 3 rows of double crochet and then I did like fillet. So it's double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. And I didn't at about, and I don't count. I was not counting. I was not keeping track of stitches. At about those 6 points, I would add a V stitch. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the same stitch, and it would create an increase like right here. And I did that. And then I stopped counting. Stopped paying attention. I did a row of just straight fillet. So double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. That's all I did. No increases on that row. And what you see here, this little shell design, it's just a shell. So at the increase points of the previous row where there would be a V-stitch. In the V-stitch, I put 5 double crochet. And then in the next row from that, I went back to fillet. So I did double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, all the way across. There's no need to increase further there. So the main part of the increases would be in the shell part. So you'd have the V-stitch, and then 5 double crochet in the V-stitch, and then go back to the fillet. And you can add however many rows you want. I honestly, every section is a little bit different because I was doing this while we were driving. I was doing this in between recording videos. So no 2 sections are exactly the same. So like here, I have 2 rows of fillet before I put the V-stitch and then the shell. And then I have 2 rows of the fillet again. But here I only have 1 row of fillet before I do the V-stitch. And then the shell, and then 2 rows of double fillet. Or, yeah, not double fillet, you know, the fillet stitch. And onward and onward. So the shell is the main increase, and you don't really need to put increases anywhere else except where you put the V-stitch and the shell. And the rest is just chain 1, skip 1. Or double crochet, chain 1, skip 1. And then you have a couple of rows. I did 2, you do 3 or 4. Just double crochet rows, no increases. And then at the end, when I was really trying to use up yarn, I did a row of double crochets, a row of double crochets, a row of double crochets, a row of half double crochets, and then I did just a very typical shell. So I would start with a single crochet, skip 2, put a shell, skip 2, put a single crochet, skip 2, put a shell, and then I just did half double crochets in the row after that and 2 rows of single crochet. Okay, so write down notes. It's not difficult to do this. It was so easy. And as you can see, I just put them randomly. I did not count. I just randomly put some shells like every, I don't know, about every 2 inches. And then I followed from there down. So I kind of put it below this row, kind of put it below that row, but it's not perfect. It's not lined up. And then when I got so far, I added another set of shells over here because it was expanding a lot. And I would increase some on the edges until I got to a certain point, and then I didn't want it to increase anymore, so I stopped increasing on the edges. So see how there's like 2 double crochets, 2 double crochets to start the row, and then I just stopped doing double crochets to start the row, or 2 doubles, and then I just, you know, it was 1 double crochet. So hopefully that can help you to recreate something like this. If you do, give me full credit, please. So I really am glad it's done. I got it down to where I only had this much of a scrap left. It is maybe, let's see, measure it by my wingspan. It's about 7 feet of a piece of string, which I'm going to say is small enough to go directly into the trash bin. And I'm finished. I love it so much. I've actually been wearing it all morning because it's a little bit chilly in the house because it's hot outside, so I got the air conditioning kicked up. I'm very happy that it's done. Yeah, it's really pretty. It's really lightweight. It doesn't really feel like I'm wearing anything on me, but it does keep the chill off my arm just a little bit. And the rainbow color is so pretty. It hurts to lift that arm. I'm not gonna lift that arm again. That arm has been giving me a lot of problems, and I think it's a crochet and or knitting issue because it's in the like the tendon or something that goes down right here, and when I lift it up, it hurts. So I need to start doing some exercises to get my shoulder loosened back up. I really think it's from too much crochet. The reason I think it's from too much crochet is because I'm also having problems with this finger. Well, it looks kind of twisted. And this happens periodically where I have like weird flare-ups of whatever is going on in my body and my joints start to just hurt. And that is what is happening currently. Usually it happens when I've been exposed to wheat, but that is the only symptom I'm having. So I don't think I was actually exposed to wheat. or gluten, I hope. So, I'm gonna give my hand a little bit of a rest. Yeah, my finger looks crooked. Looks like there's a twist to it. Yeah, I got my dad's knuckles. My dad's fingers. My dad's fingers were all jacked up. His knuckles have been broke so many times, and he never went to the doctor, so his fingers would like twist, and like his fingers were all messed up, mostly from playing basketball. I think most of his injuries were sustained from basketball. My dad loves sports. He would play and or watch on TV every sport that was available. He played baseball for years, and he played baseball up until one of his teammates died on the field, and then he was like, yeah, I'm gonna quit, and then the next year he had a heart attack. And it was probably a good idea that he quit because his teammate died from a heart attack on the field. But he played basketball for years. I remember when I was 15, I was dating this really cocky idiot of a boy who assumed that because my dad was old, and let's see, if I was 16, 15, my dad would have been about my age. Yeah, my dad would have been a little bit older than me. And this kid I was dating, he was so cocky. He was like, I'm gonna beat that old man. And you know, he was running his mouth. My dad was raised in the streets of Detroit. You don't need to run your mouth to him, first of all. He was literally raised in the streets of Detroit. Second of all, this little boy didn't know what was coming to him. My dad knew how to play. He whooped my boyfriend at the time, and my boyfriend was like, he was butthurt. He was like so upset. He was like, I can't believe, like, blah, blah. Like, I told you, you should have been running your mouth. I tried to tell you about my dad. I tried. You didn't listen. And so I gave him a hard time the whole way home. He didn't talk to me for a couple days after that. Tells you right there, he was not the one. He wasn't even close to the one. He was the one that should have been in jail, honestly. Anyway. I'm in a mood today. I'm in a mood. So, this week, we're going to have Tuesday tea tomorrow. I think we're going to actually have tea tomorrow. I'm going to have a special guest, I hope. If my special guest can, I'm going to apply lotion while I'm talking. If my special guest can get on camera with me. I'm not going to tell you who it is, though, but it's kind of exciting. I'm going to have tea and probably talk. It's probably just going to be a tea and talk with my special guest. And I'm going to try this week to do a contrast and comparison to Friday's yarn, because now I can show you, because now it has been released. The new Cotton Fair bulky prints. I actually have never used the regular Cotton Fair. I've never purchased it. I've never felt it. And so I ordered some, and I want to kind of use both of them, and I know they're drastically different yarns because one is a bulky number 5, right? And one is a fine number 2, but I want to kind of compare them, at least for my own self, to see if I do like the Cotton Fair as much as I like the Cotton Fair bulky. Because if, and I don't remember what I said in Friday's video because I filmed it a couple weeks ago. And I don't rewatch my videos once they're uploaded. I really enjoyed working with this yarn. I liked the final product of it. It was very squishy, and like I could not stop thinking of things to make with this. So that led me to want to try the original Cotton Fair and see, do I like it as much as the Cotton Bulky? So I'm gonna try to get that video out this week as well. But like I said, life is really busy. Maybe someday I will come back and talk to you guys about all of the things that are going on over these several weeks. Because I'm trying not to like talk about things before they happen, in case, you know, plans get messed up, because that does happen quite often. And you know, I don't want to get anybody's hopes up in case that fails. I have also had a request from one of you guys to do a PYOW video on the coffee shop, and I think I still have one or two. I had a whole bunch at one time and I got rid of a lot of it. But I do want to do a pee out video for that. I don't know if that's going to be this week or next week, but I do have that planned. Trying to think of what else I have planned for this week. I know I got to cake up all that yarn and start the cardigan for Hannah at the Cozy Cottage Crochet podcast. I'm excited about that. So yeah, there's not a lot going on in the crochet business. I really want to sit down and sew. I have a lot of fabric. I have like a whole rolly cart over there of it. And I saw something online and it was so cute. They took scraps and they made what looked like an American flag out of American flag colored yarn. But it was definitely not an American flag, but it looked very rustic and cool. And I was like, okay, I want to make one of those for either the front door, because I'm thinking like hang it on like a dowel or some sort of rod. And have the flag hanging down and put that on the front door. I think that would be so cute. But also my front door gets a lot of sunshine, and I'm kind of worried that it's going to bleach out the fabric and then I'll only be able to use it for 1 year. But I definitely want to sew. I've been wanting to sew for a while now. When Juju was a baby, I made curtains, I made baby clothes. I sewed so much better than I do right now. My aunt taught me, my mom's sister, and she taught me a lot of cool things, and I still know how to do them. I need to get back in practice, because like Juju's 17 now. At the date of this video, she's 17, so I was crocheting these things 16, 17, 18 years ago when I was pregnant with her, preparing her bedroom. I made the curtains, and then I started sewing her the cutest little baby dresses, and I have not made a baby dress in 16, 17 years. I barely made any clothes for little man. I think the last outfit I made for the two of them, he was about 1 and she was about 10, and I made them a matching outfit, and it was really cute. But neither one of them wore it because at 10 years old, she doesn't want to wear handmade things. And he was growing too fast. It only fit him for like 30 seconds. So I want to get back into sewing a little more, and I think this American flag pattern that I downloaded will be really cute. I could even hang it in here. But I want to start making more stuff like that. I don't want to quilt per se, because I've tried quilting and it is just, it's not my thing. I can't make big projects. I like to make little things that just, just little cute things. I also really want to make myself a shirt. I have some stitch fabric that one of you amazing people sent me, and it's jersey material, so it's stretchy. I want to make the bottom part of a shirt, and I want to put crochet lace like on the top part of the shirt, and I have it worked out in my head how I want to make it, but I need to actually sit down and cut the fabric, and I'm scared to cut the fabric and screw it up because I can't get any more of the fabric. And the fear of messing up always gets me. Is like, I'm scared I'm gonna mess it up and it's gonna be ruined. Not that I can't make something else out of the material if I mess up, but I got my heart set on the shirt, and I can see it in my head how I want it to look, and I don't know, I just really want to make myself this shirt. So there's things I want to do on my sewing machine that I haven't pulled it out in months now, and I want to. I have really, really cute fabric. So yeah, that's what's going on around here. And this shawl took me 3 weeks to make, which was so tedious. I'm so glad it's done though. I'm so glad it's done. And I have lots of, like, this it doesn't exactly go with it, but it's rainbowy enough that it doesn't look bad together, because the orange matches, the blue kind of matches. So even though this doesn't have red or purple on it, this is so pretty. I'm really, really glad that it is finished and I don't have to crochet this tiny thread anymore. I thought about putting a little, it stays on really well. It doesn't like shift. But I thought about putting like a little button or like one of those, those one clasps that kind of connect like that in the middle. But I'm scared that that would be too heavy on this because this is so lightweight. And I don't think it's needed because it stays exactly where I put it on my body. It kind of like hugs onto, I really like this finished object. Did not like working on it. It was too time consuming. You can tell my shoulders hurt and I'm like holding it up to myself. I didn't realize I was doing that. Maybe I need to go take a swim in the pool and get my my muscles loosened up. I definitely need to go work on it, work it out. Yeah, so I think that's all I have to talk about today. Yeah, I'm looking at my project bag. There's nothing in there. So today I think I'm going to cake up my yarns, my soft squishy cottons, and get started on, actually I think today I'm just going to cake those up, and then tomorrow I will get started on the crocheting of that. I definitely decided on the order. So the way I have it is the turquoise is going to be the center, and then we're going to have the blue speckled by the dark blue, white, red speckled, pink speckled will be the sleeves. And the way I laid it out looks so pretty. Quite a few people, including my sister, did not like the pink with it, but I think the pink next to the speckly red, it just looks nice together, and I think it's gonna really give a little pop to the sides of it. I think it's gonna be beautiful. I'm really excited. I just hope that is enough yarn because I know that this garment is going to be huge, and because it's shaped like this so that it goes straight down from here, so it's a boxy cardigan. I've never made myself a boxy cardigan, and so it's gonna be, it almost feels like it's a serape or something like that. So I mean, I'm excited about it, but I'm worried I'm not gonna have enough because big body. Big body. I think we'll be fine though. I think I have, and if not, I will figure something out. I always do. I know. I'm just yammering at this point. I'm gonna start caking those up. I'm gonna go try to get in the pool maybe. I'm definitely gonna put some heat on my hand because it's killing me. I don't know why, just like right here. There's something in there, like a nerve or something that is pinched, or it's like a sharp pain in a straight line in my finger. The joys of arthritis, I tell you. And it's worse because when we were in Florida, I barely crocheted or knitted at all. And knitting actually is really painful to me the past couple of months. Like really, really painful. If I knit for a couple hours, I have to put heat packs on my hands. It's that bad, and I don't know why. It's like, I don't grip extra hard knitting. It's just, I don't know why it's bothering me so bad. So I haven't been knitting. I'm kind of scared to knit because it is pretty painful. But also taking time off from doing the craft, it makes my arthritis act up because my hands aren't constantly in motion, so then it starts to tighten up. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I feel like, man, I'm too young for this crap. I'm only 42. Oh, I'm almost 43. I'll be 43 in August. But you know, it's like, God, I have the hands of an 80-year-old, I think. Here's the thing is I hold my standards by Chris's grandmother. She is a spitfire. She is, first of all, she's redheaded. She's a natural redhead. She has all the fire of a natural redhead. She has so much fire inside of her. She's been fighting cancer for, shoot, I think 9 years now. And it's a type of cancer that's never going to go away. It just, there's no cure for it. She's gone into remission a couple times, but she's been fighting it hard. And I look at the standards of aging by her and how strong she is, how strong-willed she is, and even though she said she's starting to wear down a little bit and she's sleeping more, but fighting cancer that long will do that to you. I just wish I was more energetic like her. I wish I was more
I had more fight in me like her. She seems to never let anything get to her, and so like I look at her, I'm like, okay, well I some days feel way older than her. Just like stress, mental, and I'm sure she's had those days too. And she'll admit to it. She had 5 kids in 5 years while Grandpa was away in the military. So, well, not, I mean, he'd come home, they'd get pregnant. It's not that they weren't his kids. I totally misphrased that. So she had a lot on her plate. And her husband was gone all the time because he was fighting the war and, you know, whatever. And sometimes when I would complain to her, she would look at me like, you serious? And she was very blunt about this. She's like, you know, I think some people nowadays are a little bit soft. Because, and I told her one time, because Mr. Cinnamon, when we were living in Michigan, Mr. Cinnamon got an internship to come to Washington, D.C. for the job that he, well, kind of in the sector that he is in now. It's a government job, okay? He got an internship and he left for 3 months. And it led to amazing things for us. But in that 3 months that he was gone, I had Juju, who was 3 at the time, and I had both of my nieces in my house with me, who were 3 and 5 at the time. And my sister was also living with me. And it was a very difficult time for me. And I was talking to her about that one time, and I was like, and he has opportunities to deploy in his job, you know. He has the opportunities to go overseas, and he always says the financials, like, I could make a lot of money, and then I could come home. And I said, no. I've said no repeatedly. I would rather be broke and have my husband in my house than to have a little bit of extra money and my husband be gone. No. And I've told him no over and over again. I did not sign up for this. And it's been a long running conversation for years. And I remember talking to Grandma about this. And we were actually visiting her. So I was looking her in the face talking to her about this. And she kind of looked at me like I was soft. And she's all, you know, you guys couldn't handle it the way it was back then. And I'm like, no, I probably could not. And she's talking about how, like, nowadays the soldiers can actually, like, sometimes call home and talk to their families, or they have video chat, and they have all of these options that she never had. So she was very much isolated away from her husband and raising 5 very young kids. 5 rambunctious, very young kids. And she has lots of stories about things that she persevered through and all this. And she said, and they still complain. She's like, look what I went through. I was like, yeah, you did. And part of it was, maybe I am soft, but here's the thing. They made that decision together that he was going to be in the military. I did not sign up for that. I didn't. I never wanted to be a military wife. I don't want my husband deploying. I didn't sign up for that. No, sir. So, maybe I'm soft, but did not sign up for that. And I think we all have to just make decisions like that in our life that, you know, that doesn't work for me. I'm not meant to be, no, I'm not going to do it. I have too much things that I need him here for. I need him to put gas in my car because I don't do that. And I know that's total, like, traditional views, and some women are like, why don't you I don't want to put gas in my car. I have a husband. I don't need to. No, sir, that's not my job. He also does all the things that involve standing on a chair because I'm terrified of heights. I will not stand 2 inches off the ground, let alone 2 feet. So I need him for that, you know? Aside from, I need him to help me keep my crazy inside. You know? He helps keep the crazy in. He knows this. I don't do well when he's not around. And also, I just really like having him around. So, I don't even know how I got on this subject, but we're going to end the video here because, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. And I will see you tomorrow for tea and company, hopefully. Bye, guys.